Hello and welcome to today's camp, which is coming from my motorhome. This is the very first time that I've actually done this from a computer, because up until now I've always done everything from my mobile phone. And the point of doing it from the mobile phone was because it's easier. But anyway, this seems to be relatively easy to do, and so I'm going to try and do it here. Now, I'll try and do a live chat from the motorhome at the same time on Saturdays, as much as maybe something with the motorhome. Maybe I'll be out somewhere, but I'll try and do something. The benefit, of course, is that if you've got any questions about van life in general, or you want to ask about any vehicles or something along those lines, then I can try to answer them. Now, I've entitled this Camping in the Cold. In fact, there are two live streams, because the first one I hit the thing accidentally while trying to position my camera on the mobile phone. I hit it accidentally, and then it started recording, and I couldn't turn it off. So anyway, this one here is now on a live stream, which is on the computer, so that shouldn't be a problem. Anyway, so I said I entitled this Camping in the Cold, and what I wanted to sort of to talk about is that I put up a poll saying, what do you think? Do you think it's a good idea or not? And well, I'll have a look. We'll leave it up for a couple of days to find out what the results are. But I think that living in a motorhome really needs to be something that you want to do, and it shouldn't be sort of an endurance thing to find out how tough you are. Now, I admit that there's one or two things I really would like to do, and hello, Gypsy. And there is, such as, for example, I want to do a tour in Russia. In fact, I was meant to go to Russia this winter. In fact, we even talked about doing it last winter as well. And okay, for obvious reasons, it didn't come off this year because of the situation with COVID. But I do have this in me. I would like to actually give it a go. And talking to people who've done things in the past about winter camping. And if you're living in a reasonable motorhome, then okay, it's cold outside as it is now, and but when you get in, it's nice and warm, as you'd expect really from living in your house. Now, I've been in now about 15 minutes, and my hands, well, you can't tell any longer, but they were quite cold. And so anyway, hello, Dafa and Neil. Oh, also, if you could write down where you are, because I always find that interesting, in which city or wherever. Annie, hello, and Yuki, hello. And so anyway, so the point of living in the van is not an endurance test. And now this year I had planned on going to Sicily. And so there the temperature, well, it'd be like the summer here right now, probably about 18, 19 degrees. And so that is what I saw myself more as, like a snowbird, to use the American terminologies of people who sort of live in the Midwest or something. Then they go down to Florida for the winter, and that's how I sort of saw it. So I'd be in Northern Europe somewhere, so I spend most of my time in Poland, or centrally, I should say, Poland and Germany, and then I'd go to Italy for the winter. Now, Italy, though I've got to point out, it's a very mountainous country, and it's pretty cold in many places of Italy. In fact, the highest motorway bridge in Europe is in southern Italy. It's in the toe of Italy. And yeah, you've got to have laws, you've got to have snow chains, and when you're actually there, obligatory, the signs up saying snow chains or winter tires are obligatory. So I think one thing I've discovered recently is when we did a motorhome rebuild, sort of rebuilt this 4 years ago, and in fact, see, we didn't rebuild the wallpaper on the roof that came off, and I never put it back on again. But this van itself, is sort of self-made sort of thing, could be certainly far better. But at the moment, I'm quite warm. Anyway, I've got a question here. Actually, Gypsy asks, "Is the diesel?" Yes, it's to heat the vehicle. Diesel. I've got a diesel heater, which is it's 5 kilowatt, and I mean 5 kilowatts of energy. It's quite a lot. Now, for example, at the moment I've got the fan heater on, and but things that's only because I just sort of came in and had everything off. Otherwise, I'd probably be just sitting here without it on. But I'm trying to get the place warmed up a bit. The 5 kilowatts of is really a lot. And if you had a new van, and if it was a good quality van, then you wouldn't. I think that would be really overkill. In fact, I've seen these 5 kilowatts advertised for lorry drivers. Now, unless you're going somewhere really freezing, then it's hard to believe that would be necessary. I know somebody I used to work with. He said he was in Russia and he's driving around, and he's got in the winter, and he's got 3 thermal sets of thermal underwear on, plus his trousers, and he's got a blanket over him. He's got the heating on full blast in the van, and yeah, I can understand that. But I mean, I think for the normal motorhomes, should we say, it's like an average size of say 7 meters by 2 by 2, or 2 meters high, 2 meters wide, then you know, 2.5 kilowatts is probably sufficient. And take that from the diesel. Diesel heaters are particularly good with camper vans because they're not. You don't need a gas cupboard then. Your heating, if it's coming from the diesel, you've already got a diesel cupboard. I've got a diesel tank in the car, so you're just taking that diesel from that anyway, so it's not taking up much room. But if you've got more room, then maybe gas is a better option from the point of view that gas is it is cheaper at the moment anyway. And although the quality of gas does vary from place to place, not only that, if you haven't got a refillable system, then you're stuck with you could end up getting stuck, and you got the wrong ending on the gas. So anyway, I think the non-refillable systems really it doesn't help with international travel, as there's no standard end to it. So anyway, so Gypsy's in the home of the brave, Scotland. Hello, Ellen. And Highlands are the best place to camp. Now, I haven't actually tried that. I went to Skye in 2004, and I've been saying I want to go back to Skye. And 2004 was it, or 2003? And I really would like to do that, but maybe not so much at the moment. Having said that, I will say I've got a video coming out on Glencoe. And on my history channel, I have a video next Friday, that's in 6 days' time, on the massacre of Glencoe in 1692. So, yes, in Scotland, you can't actually wild camp anyway. Now, Neil's in Colchester. Hi, I've been to Colchester, and as Neil says, it's not very glamorous, and I can actually add to that. A friend of mine actually, when I was in the army, he got posted to Colchester, and he had to work in the military prison. And anyway, he didn't want to do it, so he didn't. He left the army because of it. And so Annie's in Texas, and Kevin from Elgin. Oh ho ho! Just an hour to Aviemore. Oh, very good. And right then, okay. Have I got tires? I think Ellen is direct, and maybe not directing this question to me, but are there chains for the tires when going into the mountains in winter? I don't have chains. And quite honestly, I don't know how to fit them. No one's ever shown me. I've never put them on. I don't know if it's easy to put them on or it's not easy on, so it can't be that difficult, because there's plenty of people who do it. Of course, there's many places. If you have chains on your vehicle, you can get fined. So this is ironing the same amount of snow. So it's, I think chains are probably, I don't know. I don't know. I would bother. Anyway, so Franzi says hi, hello, and she's in southern Bavaria, which is a place. Yeah, I thought I could have been in. Well, I should have been in Stuttgart. I sort of maybe wouldn't have gone via Bavaria. I would have gone through a little bit of Bavaria on my way south had I done what I wanted to do. And daughter's in Denmark, and I've never been to Denmark in the van. I went there in 1985, one day in Copenhagen, and that was it really. And so Folden Camper has hello from Munich, and oh, thank you for the information. Well, thank you for watching, and T4 California, and right. So I like to say a few words about using something like a camper van, because I entitled this the van in winter or something, camping in winter or camping in the cold. My first van was a T4, sorry, my first van a T4, and it was absolutely freezing in the winter, and it was roasting in the summer. In fact, it was in the summer of 2011, when I was sleeping inside. I had to leave the door open completely, and all the windows I could. It was really bad. Now, anyway, one night what happened was this: is that there was this really, you get these very strong storms in Central Europe in the summer when the temperature drops suddenly. It's lightning and there's this torrential rain. Anyway, so the rain and lightning, everything started, and I closed the door. Anyway, after about 30 minutes, I got woken up by this meowing, and a cat had come inside. One other night, when the same sort of thing happened, I actually got hit by lightning, and that did the electrical system in. And it was strange though, because I heard this. I knew something. I thought it was something outside had been hit by the lightning, because I heard this buzzing, and it was only when I sort of pulled out all the fuses that I realized that it was me. So right, so Jazz is in Yorkshire. Of course, I know Yorkshire, having driven through that with my parents. Thank you, Annie, for warm tea to the cough. And Tuscany, you melted in Tuscany, very hot, yes, indeed. And in Sicily, where I was sort of staying, I parked the van next to the sea, and so that was reasonably warm. But when I walked into the village, and the heat was very oppressive, and that was really, that started about April, but by June it was really quite intense. And that's something about temperature. As far as I'm concerned, I'm in the van because I want to be in it, and I really like this contact with nature. And sometimes, contact with nature in the winter, it's really nice to go out walking and things like that. It's very pleasant. In fact, I mean, it's something. This feeling of being out in the snow, walking in the forest and things like that. Even though you can't necessarily see what's underfoot, but particularly when you get back, I think it's really this wonderful feeling. Obviously, I prefer the summer. Anyway, so good. There's a few words about what I am. I'm in a place called Ozoków in Poland. I've been here since the 2nd of November. And until there's some change in the epidemiological situation, I won't be moving on. I see that Jazz's parents have recently bought an Elvis van. Now, I come from the town where they were manufactured, or they are manufactured, still manufactured in the same place. And I can remember walking past what was the caravan works as it was then, as when I was a child. So I was into walking, doing outdoor things, and so I'd go past the Eldis, and there was Mr. Siddle who started the company, had a transport company. anyway, so I used to go back there, past there quite often, and so it's quite ironic. Now, I wrote to the company when I started doing this YouTube stuff and all the rest of it, but never seen in the slightest bit interested in doing anything with me or taking an interest in me for that matter. So Carlos says good morning. So good morning, Carlos. Must be somewhere in America. What part of America? I don't know. It's a big place from Alaska to Argentina, but I presume he's there somewhere. Quick question. You talked about security, and when it got, did you close all the blinds, leave note to show you have nothing to hide? Yeah, that's a good question, and I don't know what the answer is. I might, yeah, I play it by ear. If as far as I'm concerned, in the van, I mean, I've got things in the safe, but which might get left in there. But yeah, I might leave the. Sometimes I leave the everything open to show that there's nothing worth taking, which is one way of doing it. Other times I might actually close it. Things, if you close everything, nobody knows what's inside, and you know, it could be a vicious dog inside. So they don't know that, and I don't know. I don't know the answer is on security. I mean, but security is a big problem. So Carlos is in Costa Rica, and after the football, the World Cup in 2014, I thought Costa Rica had given so much entertainment. I went to the supermarket and bought some Costa Rican products just to show my support. Anyway, oh, I'm from Saudi Arabia. Wasn't that great? I mean, Saudi Arabia must be a fantastic place for the ban. I mean, you've got these huge expanses of what must be emptiness in the desert and all the rest of it. And I know there's roads, so I'll look them up on the map. And it must, that to me is, it can be developed more for you know, and also obviously a way to get there, because at the moment for us in Europe, you know, you've got to travel through Syria. It's not really, I don't think it's particularly safe thing to do. But anyway, I do hope that I had a conversation on this very subject not so long ago. In fact, I tried to butter up the Saudi Arabian tourist authority to see if I could get some consultancy work off them. But anyway, nothing came my way. So anyway, thanks very much for being here, and all of you who dropped by. There will be a video this evening. I haven't decided what video will be yet, and I have a video tomorrow from Glen Coe, which mentioned the Highlands, and with a bit with Torquay as well. But that's the earlier video. It's 1600 UK time, 1700 my time. I can't calculate it where it is in other places. And thanks very much. Buenos dias, feliz sábado. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here, and all the best from Ozoków in Poland. But please keep talking amongst yourselves, because once I end it, I think you can keep going for 5 minutes, I think.